So, with that being said, let's check out ESPN's college football top 25 preseason rankings. Wait a minute. Hold on. Are we that close? I'm asking you guys a question. Are we that close to where ESPN is now officially releasing their preseason rankings? I don't know if it's just me who feels this way. Maybe they've always done it in early June, but I thought this was extremely early to be releasing the preseason rankings. But like I said, maybe that's just me. Maybe they do this every single year and I haven't been paying attention. There's just something about it. When I first heard this and first saw it, I was like, well, dang, isn't this early? Because we just released the post-spring rankings. But then I sat back and thought about it and I was like, well, dang, the offseason's flying by because the spring rankings came out about 2 months ago. ESPN put out their spring rankings in early April and now it's June. With that being said, I don't want to get you too excited here, but this season is sneaking up on us. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited as well. We're on the home stretch. We are only about 75, 85 days away from football. And it's going to be here before we know it. The hardest part of the offseason isn't really June or July because there's a lot of stuff going on. People are normally busy in the summer. The hardest part about the offseason is really February, March, and April because there's nothing going on. We've gotten through those dark days. And oh yeah, by the way, I recently just released my post-spring college football top 25 rankings. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I go into heavy detail. It's over 30 minutes long. So like I said, if you want to see my top 25 post-spring rankings, feel free to check that out. For me, myself, I will come out with my preseason rankings, but I'm going to wait till around July to do that. And I'm thinking of coming out with the preseason rankings in late July, maybe early August. But with all that being said, in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a look at these new rankings. That is going to be the main topic. But also, we got a couple other minor topics to speak on, including the top 5 Heisman Trophy contenders from the SEC. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Can y'all believe it? It's June. Maybe the summer's just flying by to me, but May felt like it was only 10 days long. I don't know. I ain't complaining, but all right. Blah, blah, blah. Shut the crap up, Matt. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. I say we talk about this first. Kelby Mack sent this to me on Twitter. Thank you, by the way. This person sends me anything and everything on college football. Really helps out the channel. The top 5 Heisman Trophy contenders in the SEC. It is a very intriguing list, to say the least. I'll just show it to you right here. Number 5, we got Georgia's quarterback Carson Beck. Okay. Number 4, Tennessee's quarterback Joe Milton. 3, Quinshon Judkins, running back for Ole Miss. That dude's a stud, by the way. 2, Brock Bowers, tight end from Georgia. Number 1, Jaden Daniels, quarterback from LSU. Do I think this list is atrocious? Do I think it's bad? No, not really. There's nothing wrong with it. And I am kind of shocked that the person who made this list is giving Jaden Daniels a ton of love because everywhere else and all these other rankings and whatnot, nobody's giving Jaden Daniels the respect he deserves and really the respect he's earned. The only complaint that I saw in the comment section is a lot of people are saying, yo, what about KJ Jefferson, the quarterback for Arkansas? Here's all I got to say about that, and I really want you to pay attention. You'll notice all 5 of these guys on this list right here, they play for really good football teams. Every single player on this list and every single player on Heisman lists all throughout the season are going to be playing on teams that are either 9-4, 10-3 at bare minimum. The reason KJ Jefferson won't get any Heisman love leading up to the season and probably throughout the season is because Arkansas isn't going to go 10-3. And we all know this. If your team isn't a serious contender, the chances of one of your players winning the Heisman Trophy are slim to none. Look at the history of the Heisman Trophy. Look at the team the player that won it was on. More times than not, they're either a national champion or they're competing for a national championship, or they're a really good team. And I think in recent history, one of the worst teams a Heisman winning quarterback or player was on was Robert Griffin III and Baylor, and they were still a top 25 team. Let's say you had a bet on this. Out of everybody on this list, who would you or who would I put my money on? I'm saying Carson Beck. For one reason and one reason only. Georgia has the best chance of going undefeated. I don't think Brock Bowers is in a position where he can showcase his skills even as much as a wide receiver. I'm very comfortable with saying Carson Beck. Now here's the thing. Do I think Carson Beck is better than Jay Daniels at this current moment in time? No, I do not. But it goes back to this. The more you win, the more you're going to climb up in that Heisman voting. It shouldn't be this way, but if you lose a game, your Heisman stock or whatever you want to call it is going to take a hit. I did want to share that with y'all. Let me know your thoughts down below. But now finally, moving on to the main topic, the main reason you clicked onto this video. we got to take a look at these new rankings. Let's get into it. Yet again, I'm going to remind you guys, if you haven't seen my top 25 list, feel free to check out this video right here. It is a full breakdown on every single team I have inside the top 25 and why I have them inside the top 25. So, with that being said, let's check out ESPN's college football top 25 preseason rankings. Come on, man. Don't act brand new around here. You know how we start this out. 25 through 21 first. Starting it out hot at number 25, we got the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Not a bad place to start. Not a bad place to start at all. 24, we got the UCLA Bruins. 23, we got K-State. 22, we got Kentucky. And 21, we got Florida. So rounding out 21 through 25, we got not one, not two, but three SEC teams. Me personally, do I believe that Florida should be in the top 25? No, heck to the no. I don't even know if I'd have them inside the top 35. I just don't understand your reasoning and logic behind that. Their head coach isn't that good, at least in my humble opinion. Their spring game was a disaster, and it doesn't look like they have a good quarterback. So with all that being said, I don't know how you could look at all that and go, yeah, let's throw Florida in at 21. Makes zero sense to me. But at number 20, we got TCU. I like that. 19, we got Wisconsin. 18, we got the Ole Miss Rebels. 17, we got Washington. And 16, A&M. That is an interesting 20 through 16. I like TCU at 20. That's a good spot. I had them around that in my rankings. I think I had them at 18. As far as it goes for Wisconsin, that could be questionable, but not a bad spot. Not really a fan at A&M at 16, but it is what it is. 15 to 11, it's pretty solid. You got Notre Dame, that's a great spot. Utah 14, Oklahoma 13, that is a little too high for my liking. Clemson at 12, and number 11, you got Oregon. Yet again, goes back to this. How do you watch this Oklahoma team last year and go, yeah, let's put them in at number 13? If you want to throw Oklahoma in there at like 23, 24, 25, I'm cool with it. But 13? Come on, man. 13's too high, but let's get into the top 10. At 10, we got the Florida State Cinnamon Rolls at number 9. Whew, disagree with this one. I'll speak on it in just a second. We got Texas. Yeah, that's interesting. At number 8, we got Penn State. Great spot. Number 7, we got USC. And number 6, we got the Tennessee Volunteers. 10 through 6 is pretty dang good, except for Texas. I don't like Texas at 9. I like them around 14, even as high as probably 12, anywhere from 12 to 20, 21. 9's a little too much for my liking. I don't think they're a top 10 team, and I think we should make them earn it. I'm tired of just throwing teams in there like Notre Dame and Texas based off of what they did 45 years ago. I'm tired of it. It's stupid if you got to ask me. It really is. If anything, I think you should switch Clemson and Texas. That would be A-okay, or you could switch Utah and Texas. All in all, though, outside of a couple of teams I disagree with here and there, this list isn't too bad. Y'all have seen me react to a lot of lists and they've been terrible and I've exploded, but this one's the best by far I've seen in a long time. Getting into the top 5, what you're really here for. Number 5, we got LSU. Number 4, we got the Alabama Crimson Tide. Number 3, we got Michigan. Number 2, we got the Ohio State. And number 1, we got Georgia. The top 5, pretty dang good. I'm not going to get too upset about it, but I would switch around Ohio State, Michigan, and Alabama. If you haven't seen my video, I got Georgia, number 1. I got Michigan, number 2. Alabama, 3. And Ohio State, 4. Ohio State is extremely talented, but their head coach is a bozo and a complete fraud. Here's my problem with this. Even if you want to stick Alabama at 4, whatever, that's cool. But how do you see Michigan embarrass Ohio State, not just last year, but in back-to-back seasons, with Michigan's star quarterback, star running back coming back, and a better head coach, and go, yeah, you know what, I'm going to give Ohio State the edge? What sense does that make? Michigan has the better coach, the better quarterback, the better running back, the better defense, overall the better team from a physicality standpoint, and you're putting Ohio State ahead of them? And I get it. You could sit up here and say, well, Matt, Ohio State's more talented than Michigan. Okay, if we're going off of talent, Alabama should be number 1 because they got the most talented recruiting class of all time coming in. Here's my point with all of this. It's the same argument I had last year with Alabama trying to sneak into the playoff. Did I think Alabama was better than TCU? Yes, everybody with a functional brain knew that. Alabama could have played TCU 10 times next year, and I would have bet my house on the game 10 straight times. Alabama was better than TCU last year, even with Alabama struggling at times, but they didn't deserve to be in. TCU deserved it. If we just ranked all these teams based off of talent and where we thought they should be, there's no point in even playing the games. The games themselves have to account for something. So with that being said, I think just from a moral and integrity standpoint, you got to put Michigan above Ohio State. That's how I view this, but that's just me. Overall, let's take a look. I'll pop it up right here. The entire top 25. What do y'all think about it? It's not the worst list I've ever seen. It's not the greatest list I've ever seen. I'd switch around a couple of things here and there, but I can get down with this. I really can. Of course, there's a lot of things that kind of do drive me crazy, but I don't want to scream and yell. It's not good for my health, but I think they honestly do that just so I make videos about it. Let's check on some of the comments, see what people got to say. I haven't even looked at them. The first one I see right here is Florida State should be higher than this. Another one, back to back. FSU at 10 is a joke. Here's what I got to say about that. No, I don't understand your argument. Even though me personally, I had Florida State higher on my list, what's wrong with putting them at number 10? Y'all were acting like Florida State was some dominant team last year. They weren't that great. And maybe I should be on the hype train, but I'm not. I'm not a believer in Florida State just quite yet like everybody else is. The only real thing anybody should be upset about on this list is number 1, Florida being ranked at number 21. That's actually a complete joke. And number 2, Ohio State being ranked ahead of Michigan. And oh yeah, you probably could also say that there's no way Texas should be ranked ahead of Florida State. I don't get that one either. I'd give this list an overall grade of a 6 out of 10. Just due and based off of the fact the other previous 10,000 lists we looked at have been that terrible. It's just nice to see a decent list every now and then. I am very curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. But,